Welcome to the Possibility Paradigm podcast, where we have conversations that are at the intersection of possibility, consciousness, actual experience, and energetic intelligence. The Possibility Paradigm are actually more than conversations. They're experiences that can change your tomorrows. Let's jump into today's episode. Welcome, everyone. The possibility paradigm I'd like to address today is the ongoing apparent battle and difference between intuition and logic, and the paradigm that we are locked into many times around using our brain and our mind first, and then kind of demanding intuitive hits on what our brain has decided is the thing that needs to be done in order to achieve whatever it is that you're currently intending. And this is a very backward way of actually creating your possibilities. It's a very common way, and it is the way humanity has been functioning in the more masculine aspects. And I just want to say here, I don't work a lot with masculine and feminine polarities because they're polarities, and I don't really do polarities. I do possibilities. But there are certain ways to help this become apparent within your psyche so that you can use your consciousness and your choices to choose differently. So there is an actual and natural choice-making system, if you like, because as you realize that you are the universe and that you're a unique expression of all of those possibilities, then your intuition is what would I call it? It's actually pretty much like your breath, right? So you wouldn't be on the planet if you weren't able to breathe, and you wouldn't be on the planet if you didn't have your intuition as almost like a GPS system. It's constantly informing you, not telling you, but informing you of the different dynamics of energetics. My personal experience has been that if your intuition is in assessment mode, that's not intuition. If you're assessing things as right or wrong, or high level or low level, if that's an assessment, that's not really intuitive. That's the judgment that comes following a sense you have. And the work that I do is about enabling you to be more and more empowered by the sensory nature, but even that is a limitation on the possibility and the paradigm shift. But let me jump back into the way that most people work or function is they make a decision logically, a logic decision, and then pull their intuition in. I'm going to shift the paradigm today around what if you let your intuition be your first indicator, and then, yes, then by absolutely, that's what the brain is to do. It's there is, as the logic, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, so let me now help you navigate that and create that. And so living upside down is pretty soul-destroying to anybody who is here to live a conscious way. And if you're in business, it can really do you over, because there is a calling and a pull from your business that is an intuitive knowing, and then you try and logicize it into reality. And it's really painful, right? Really, really painful, because intuitively, for example, where your peeps are and what they're willing to do. So also in this paradigm shifting particularly in the arena of personal development, and utilizing that in business creation. The story that we hear a lot is readiness. And again, in breaking down some paradigms, what if it's got nothing to do with readiness at all? Because you're basically always ready, right? The higher truth, or the expanded truth, is actually, what are you willing to do? Who are you willing to be? And what are you willing to do? And once you get into trying to think that through, a whole new array of possibilities actually start to, well, they don't start to appear in your world. Again, the paradigm shift is you start to see them, right, in your world rather than seeing them in other people's worlds. It's actually appearing in, in your world. And so what if you allowed that? This is very much a part of our future world, is the intuitive hits, because we are being guided more and more by the possibilities rather than stuck in resolving problems. And if you tune into your inner self and asked which would you prefer to kind of be involved in, would you prefer to be bringing possibilities alive, or would you prefer to be fixing problems and solving problems? And again, if you're listening to this podcast, you will have heard me say, at this point in time in consciousness, we're not one or the other, but there is the paradigm shift available to you around creating a life that you're actually. Oh, that was funny. Two different words dropped in that I would never normally use. So it's not even that you're worthy of it, a life that you're worthy of, because I can send you some information around deprogramming your worthiness story if you'd like. It's actually about the expansion and the being in awe of what actually is possible. Now, overthinking things, which is what we've been programmed and trained and modeled. You think it out, you put your pros and cons. Like, where is your heart in your pros and cons, right? Not very active, mostly, the ones that I have seen anyway. And then you go into the thinking process, which is very narrow compared to the possibilities of the universe. It's not that we don't think, but it comes after the intuitive guidance. And it is, as I was talking to people who are in the sovereignty switch starting shortly, oh, it's completely gone. How hilarious. I hate it when that happens. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I was actually talking to them about lots of things, but in essence, incorporating the heart. Because if you're in the dynamic of the mind, you will be being influenced by fear patterning, and you will be, just by the mind, you will be second guessing. When your paradigm that you're living comes from the heart, you learn how to be curious about the unknown and be receptive. That's what I was saying to the sovereignty group, that, get used to living with a certain amount of not knowing, right? My term is not knowing is the new black. Learn to wear it with style, because everything is changing so rapidly that when we start at the beginning, as for example, of a new business, and we know what it is, or we're changing directions slightly in our new business, If you define and hang on and grip that concept, you can minimize its effectiveness. You might be doing a bucket load of work around it, doing all the things, and that's perhaps a story for an episode for another day. You may be doing all those things, but there's this skill around welcoming the unknown aspects of whatever it is that you're creating, almost more than the known, because the unknown is the energy that will generate greater for you, because you are stepping into the future, the unknown future, not your predictions that are done by the mind, not your sales projections, not your ROIs. And I'm not saying dismiss those, because we're running a business, right? Not a hobby. And all of those things contribute. But again, most people work with them backwards. And so today, in shifting your paradigm, I would invite you to remember that you are the possibility. And as that possibility, will you allow your intuitive capacities to guide you at a completely different new level? And then your mind can begin to relax and be super, super effective in the way that you roll out your intuitive hit. I hope that's a massive contribution to you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. And remember, you are the possibility. Bye for now. The free workbook, Finding Your Missing Piece guide, has helped hundreds of people unlock their potential and create positive change in their lives. It's a free gift and available at the link on my website that's listed below. Find Your Missing Piece, practical tools and exercises that bring the missing awareness around how you view yourself, your possibilities, your obstacles, and activating your receiving capacities.